Hi everyone, new project. As most of you guys know, I skydive, and I've this year moved to a new company or a new drop zone after being with my previous club or employer for the last 10 years, and I purchased a Caravan off a jumper that was moving north, and I was told that it was all going to be cleaned up and everything was going to be okay for me to move straight in and, you know, take up residence on the weekends. So that wasn't the case. The guys left the place in an absolute mess, mold, mouse shit, you name it. There was, I'll take you through it, but there was they were actually using one of the bench seats that has a lift-off lid as a toilet. So yeah, I'll get more into it later. Anyway, I'm up here today. There's no jumping today because the big plane's off for a service. There's our little plane over there, little Cessna 182. Call her Effie because of her registration. So I'm the only one here on the drop zone as far as I know. It's our little Caravan park, which it's most of the sort of regular jumpers and instructors that have caravans here on site. We've got some bunkhouse facilities there. We've got the big shed over there which accommodates everything, and that second highest roof is like a canteen where you can buy meals and things like that. It's a beautiful drop zone. Chief instructor's done extremely well, providing one of the best skydiving facilities in Victoria, if not the country. We've got lots of landing area out there, heaps of it, 300 and something acres I believe it is. We've got a bitumen runway for the aircraft, which is great, makes for nice smooth takeoffs. But yeah, I bought this Caravan and I need to do a lot of work to it to get it up to a standard. The smell in it is just incredible. When I first viewed it, the smell was bad, but this guy wasn't the cleanest of people. Had beer cans, empty beer cans lying on the floor, which had obviously, the dregs had spilt onto the carpet, and you know, it's just, the curtains hadn't been opened up in probably 2 years or something. It had never been had the windows open and ventilated. So I thought, yeah, that's just like dirty smell, you know, I'll be able to get it out. But it was what I found under one of the seats that propagated the smell, and the fact that the fridge was so mouldy that the mould had actually turned into small shrubs. Stainless steel microwave under there too. It's like somebody put a can of tomato soup in there with the lid off it and just boiled it until there wasn't any tomato soup left in the can, and I even had trouble getting the door open. It was just clagged shut. So you know, I'm not going to use that because I don't know how. I've got my own at home, so I'll bring that up. I'll take this one home and I'll pull it apart and have a look and see how bad it is inside, and see if I can give it a clean up. Well, the first job I'm going to do today is I'm going to seal up the roof, because if I don't have a watertight roof, anything I place inside is going to get waterlogged and damaged again. So I've just got up on the roof. There seems to be only one leak that I can detect in the van. There is some water damage under the sink, but that might have actually have come from the sink itself and not from a leaking roof. I've actually just gone around. There's a few low spots. You can see that people have walked on it, but there doesn't seem to be any leaks there in that low section there. There's another low section here and all along the van. The one spot that's leaking is probably about half a metre in from the end. There was a pool of water there, and it's directly below the bed head area of the bedroom in there, so I know that's definitely a leak spot. And yeah, so what I've got is I've got some roofing tar down there and some kerosene, so I'm going to put that in an ice cream container and thin it down a little bit with the kerosene so it's easy to apply. Because you don't want to put this stuff on too thick. You put it on too thick and it starts to crack like a bitumen road. So you want to put it on fairly thin and obviously stretch it out, you know, make it last, make it do the job. Yeah, one of the other things I discovered this morning was that I put the vent up. I don't know why sections of this vent, the lip on the vent is bent, but it is. Doesn't matter, I'll try and tap it out without walking on the roof. I'm going to put a new seal on there, so I'll just get some of that weather stripping you buy for the doors on your house, your door jambs on the front and back doors, and I'll just put that around there and that'll seal that up nicely. But it doesn't leak because it's got the beautiful thing is this comes down a long way over that race section, so I could actually leave this slightly open during this coming week until I get back up next Saturday, and that will let air circulate throughout the van, where I've had it locked up since last Sunday, and today is Sunday, so yeah, 7 days. Well, technically 6, because I didn't close this up until about 7:30 on the Sunday evening, so I was open all day. Now, on the outside, there's not much to do. You know, it's just little cosmetic things, like I'll drill that and put a rivet in it just to make it look neat. Wheel's missing, don't know where the wheel is. I have to re-level the van, it's too high at the front, so we've got to do that. Here, I have to make, this used to have a fly wire door on it. If I can get this damn thing out. Even these latches, I've got to put some new latches on it. It's just had a piece of tin riveted over the top, but if I bring my birds up, they need to breathe. So I'm going to actually take this curtain off today. I'm going to have a look. Looks like there's a nice little rebate there to put some fly wire in, so I'll make up a fly wire screen for there and have it as a fly wire screen. And what I'll do is I'll take this, I might try and find something a little bit thicker, and I'll drill a couple of I'll put a couple of hinges on here and a latch, and then I'll put some of that weather stripping around the perimeter of it, like I'm going to do on the skylight or the sunroof or the roof vent or whatever you want to call it. And then that way I'll still be able to open this. I'll be able to open it, and then there'll be fly wire in there which will prevent the birds getting out. So yeah, this needs all new locks, as you can see. Like it's got bits and pieces. This is actually a closing pin for a parachute. Using it as a temporary door stay. This has been snapped and pulled out. They're just padlocking it at the moment, so I'll replace all the locks. I'll do it properly, going around, you know, tighten up screws and stuff. Now, they got a floating floor in here. When I bought the van, there was actually, if you can see them under there, there was those carpet tiles over the top. It sort of protected this, but unfortunately this has got to come up, which is a shame. I managed to get some cabinets, some new cabinets, so one for the overhead, one for here and one for here. I managed to get them from work, working for a kitchen and cabinet company that supplies hardware to the industry. We have a showroom and we have display units in there, but we rotate stuff in and out as new products come out every 12 months. So there was some old cabinet carcasses there with some drawers and stuff, and the boss offered them to me and I said yep, I'll take them. And one of them, the one that I got for here, this measures 1320. The one that I got was 1345, so it's going to come out a little bit wider, so I have to take a little bit to unscrew this from here. And as you can see, there's no backboard there, so I'm quite lucky. I've just got to take like 20 mil or 25 mil just off here, and that new cabinet I've got will go straight in, but it's actually on legs. It's on plinth legs. So you'll see underneath the cabinet, and they've finished the floorboards here, so you'll see nothing underneath the cabinets. Happens that I've got 2 packs of this floating floor left over from when I did my house many years ago, which is enough to do this. And when I rip that cabinet out over here in the corner, it's the same deal. It'll be on plinth legs, so it's going to need floorboards going all the way through so that we have floor in here. So one of the jobs I've got to do is I've got to tear this up today, tear this cabinet out, tear that cabinet out, tear this overhead cabinet out, and this shelf here, this has only been screwed in. This is just like a temporary shelf. I do like the idea of having that there, and I may put something back, but it'll go with the kitchen. It'll suit the kitchen. It won't be this piece of board. So yeah, so this and that and that and that will come out. The floorboards will come up today. This carpet, this manky old carpet, is going to come out. Now, the wall here, in years gone by, it's had a few owners over the years. Someone had tried to do a nice renovation on it and used this this laminate sheeting to stick over the old wall, as you can see. But I think there used to be a wardrobe here, and somebody at one time has pulled the wardrobe out and left just whatever's there and left the mess here. And as you can see, most of that wall is rotted out. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of cutting and work out exactly what's what, and get some new wall paneling for there. Yeah, this is all, it's been put on with no more gaps. So yeah, I'm just going to sort of rebuild this, rebuild a new wall for here, replace maybe the paneling here. I'm not sure how bad that is all along there, but it looks like it's bowed, so I might excuse me, I might pick a point just below these power outlets, because it still seems to be pretty solid up here, but I'll know as I get further on. Might cut it across here. This has obviously got some water damage from where that leak is up here, so I will pull this whole sheet out, but I think this sheet's okay, so I might leave that. I'll cut across here and then up this joining seam and take all this out, all the bottom out, and replace the wall, and do the same here. It's only just some light, some whatever you want to call it. I was going to say light gauge, but gauge you can, you know, if it's steel. But yeah, it's only just flimsy stuff, so you know that takes nothing to pull that out and put something nice in there. So yeah, pulling this out is a job for today, to get this wall out once I've sealed the roof, because as I said, it's no good doing the wall sections if your roof is still leaking. Now, one of the things, it's a really weird setup here. There would have been originally a bed base in here, but who's ever had a crack at this, and it wasn't the last owner, it would have been probably the owner before, or the owner before them. They've, you know, had a go at their own renos. This sort of looks like it was meant to be like a big lounge suite here, because it's nice and wide. And then they've made this sort of this extension, which sort of, as you can see by the marks on the carpet, completes the bed off, and you can put a double bed mattress in there. It works okay. I've never seen it done like this, but I've got to admit it'll be okay. And what I'll do is I'll also screw, so it's really sturdy. I'll screw this to this, and then I'll put some L-shaped brackets on it. I may have to do it from the outside rather than the inside, because I don't think I'll be able to get the cordless drill in underneath there. I think it'll be too tall. And just put some L-shaped brackets on these outer legs and fasten them to the floor. Carpet, I bought too much carpet, because when I first came in and had a look at this, everything was so dark. I couldn't see anything. And I sort of just took a rough, stuck the tape measure across here, stuck it across here, and thought that this was actually a removable bed. That's how dark it was in here. Never seen anything, you know. It was like walking into a pitch black cave or something. And then I realised it's actually, when I took possession of the van, it was actually a solid structure in here. So I'm not going to go mucking around with it, because one, I don't have a bed frame to put in here. And this will work alright. This is solid ply, so it's good. There's a storage unit underneath it. So that's an IKEA mirror, I believe. Yep, IKEA. So we'll keep that. But yeah, there's storage under here. As you can see. Little bit of water damage down the bottom there. But once I seal the roof, I shouldn't get anything else back down there. I'm going to put another sheet over this, because I don't know what's happened here. Looks like there's several holes. There might have been a shelf there. Someone's put an elbow on the shelf and then like ripped that out. So I'll just go straight over the top of that. This TV is going to get moved. This end's now going to be the bed head, because it'll leave a little bit on the side here for whatever, my mobile phone and things like that. And this TV is going to go on this wall with these speakers that he's left behind. So I'll mount the speakers up in the corner, and that sub can go, well, when I rebuild this corner, that sub can just sort of sit on maybe something like that shelf. Put something in here or mount that, or just have it sitting under the bed even. And have the air conditioner here. This aircon's got to be swapped out. This is just an air conditioner. It's not reverse cycle, so it doesn't have heating. I've got a reverse cycle at home, which I pulled out of my old van, so I'm going to just swap the two of them out. They're pretty much the same size, so it should be an easy swap over. What else? Oh yeah, the carpet. I'm going to, as I said, I bought too much carpet, having measured it, you know, the full length of and width of the of this room. So I'm going to carpet the floor as normal, but I'm going to run carpet up the sides here and across the top. I might as well use the carpet, and I'm going to use it as an insulation barrier. And the mattress will sit on top of the carpet, so therefore the mattress should never get, you know, dirty from rubbing up against this ply, and it'll be sitting on nice clean carpet. So yeah, I will just use the carpet where I can, cover as much of this boarding as I can. As I said, I've got flooring at home, so I'll have brand new floating floor in here. I've got a whole lot of paints out there left over from stuff I've done at home. So we're going to go with a really, really dark chocolate. But when it's on the wall, it almost, I don't know how to explain it. It's not black, but it's not brown. It's yeah, basically really dark chocolate. So what I'll do is I'll get my third sheet sander in here and give all this melamine just a rough sand with the third sheet sander, and plug all these little holes with some gap filler, and then we'll do we'll paint everything. We'll go with that dark paint in here, which will look really nice. I got sort of not a light grey, not a dark grey carpet, but something in between. So that's a medium range grey carpet for in here, so that'll sort of break up some of the black a little bit. What else? Got to do a couple of little patch repairs here, but that's easy for me to do. I can do that, and as I said, it's going to be painted over anyway, so Yeah, you won't see it when I'm done with it. Now, what else? I'm going to leave this overhead here. It's solid enough. It's got no rot in the top. I might just remove this gold trim, because this gold trim is actually a track. It was meant to have doors in there, but I'd like to keep that open. I like sort of that being open there, because that'll be a good spot just to put some stuff. So yeah, it's just going to need a tidy up, and if I find that the edges are a little bit rough, you can buy that plastic right angle stuff for edging, or aluminum, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, little things like this, you know, this just needs these nails tapping back in, or a little bit of liquid nails behind it. I've got to swap out a switch here, which is the main switch for here. The toggle's actually buggered on it, so I've got plenty of power points at home. What else am I going to do? Just a little fix-up thing here. Looks like the original little rivets for this hinge have come out, so I've got to put either some little screws in there or some little rivets. So I bought up my rivets today. It's just a matter if I've got something small enough. Managed to pick up some foam from work during the week to remake cushions for here. The foam was actually in two big massive boxes. They ordered 2 computer monitors, and rather than it having like a polystyrene in it, it actually had a high density foam in it, and it had one really big thick layer on the bottom, and it had the same thickness on the top, and it happens that they are the perfect size. I just fluked it, so all I've got to do is just sew up some covers for it. I got the foam for nothing. So far the van's cost me, what's it cost me? Probably cost me $100 in parts so far. So a couple of wall panels, I haven't bought them yet, but that'll be included. So a couple of wall panels, the carpet cost me $40, and you know, I've gone and bought, like, you know, some kerosene and some roof seal. Everything else I pretty much had. It was all leftovers from home, so that's good. The flooring, as I said, I had it, so yeah. But if I stand around all day chatting, I'm not going to get any work done, and I want to get this roof sealed up before the weather changes, because they are expecting a change up here, as you can see. We've got a dark rain cloud there coming over. I've just dried the roof off, so I want to try and get that bitumen on the roof as quick as I can. So I'll leave it here, and I'll show you a little bit of what's going on sort of a bit later. Okay guys, I'm having a go at taking out this overhead cupboard here. So I just got to be a little bit careful. Some of this wall paneling, although it's waterlogged here, I hope I've sealed the roof now. So climb up here, I'll give you a look at what I've done. So as you can see, I've done all the tarring. I actually missed a bit on that side, so I'll have to do that once I put the camera down. So yeah, if the roof's sealed, that's not going to be a problem. That'll be hidden behind the new cabinet. Just got to get this bit out here, and it should all be good. Been busting a boiler in here to try and get all these cabinets out, and the more I pulled out, the more I found. It's a wooden framed Caravan. It's not a aluminium frame Caravan, so a lot of the wood on the lower sections was rotted away. The upper sections seem to be okay. I've had to partly dismantle the bed, or the raised area there for the bed, to get the bottom section of wall paneling out. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to build a new frame out of aluminium tubing, and screw it directly down through the floor here and into the frame rail of the chassis of the van. I have to replace this piece of flooring here. I'm lucky I have a piece of ply at home that'll go in there nicely, and that'll be a quick job anyway, because I have at least, I can't see right under the van, but I at least have the outer cross member and this one near the wheel arch to screw to. If I need to put another one in, I can do that. What else? It's just like, wow. They've done a mighty good job gluing this carpet down. I don't think it was ever meant to come out. I've got to use that long pry bar to try and rip it up. It's stuck down with some sort of blue, probably waterproof adhesive. In here, we've got a lot of rot in the corner. I don't think this is going to get any worse than it is, because there's not much left to get worse. I've sealed up the top now, so what I'm going to do in here, and I know this isn't really structurally sound, this is basically just holding the shape of the back of the van. As you can see, that probably would just pop out if I gave it a decent pull, but I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to leave it. It's behind the panel, it'll be hidden, but all this strip along the floor here, that will have to be replaced from that bench seat there all the way along. And then what I will do is I'll find a common point on all these cross braces. So basically what I'll do is I'll build a square, or a rectangle, and I may even do it out of steel, because steel would be better. I don't have a TIG, but I have a MIG, so I could build up a frame, screw the frame down onto the chassis, and then from here on either side, because this timber's still good, I can put in an L-shape right angle bracket and screw that to the top piece of the steel, and then that will reinforce this whole side. And that's something I can do at home. It's easy, and I can just throw it on the back of the trailer next week and bring it up. I'd love to redo the whole lot, but as you can see, there's not much holding the van together at the moment. I just got to hope we don't get strong winds during the week, and it gets under this this seam here. There's a seam here where the panels overlap. It's only screwed in, so I think what I'm going to do today is take all these screws out, and I'm going to put rivets in there instead. It only had screws in it because it was screwed into the frame, but I don't really need to screw it into the frame anymore. I can just drill and rivet it. So I'm trying to work out now whether I should remove this. This actually feels pretty solid here. I will have to cut this here, straighten it up, put a straight edge on it and trim it up. And I will stick some new paneling over the top of it, so that's why I'm wondering whether it's worth actually removing this. It's got a little bit of rot here, but I've sealed the roof now, and that's a lot better than it was in most places. So this, I've got all the electricals there, so you know, I really didn't want to play around with it. I know that the piece behind here is in fairly bad nick. You know, common sense, or just, you know, doing the job properly tells me I should remove it, and I should just replace this whole wall. And who knows, I'm going to have to do it at the end of the day though, when the power's off, so I can disconnect all these things, and then just measure up the length of the wall and go get my wall panelling. So it's going to be a pretty busy week this week. You need to go and buy steel, which I didn't plan to buy. I have to buy more wall panelling sheets, a couple of extra ones that I didn't plan to buy. I need to replace a section of the floor that I didn't plan to replace. But when it's done, it'll look a lot better. It'll be a lot better. It'll smell a lot better. So yeah, I'm going to keep doing some more work. Might even crack a beer. Have a beer and do some more work. And when I've done something, I'll pick up on where we are. That's how it should look. The fridge should sit about there, and the cabinet should go in this area here.